Someone once said that the mind doesn't have ideas, but actually ideas have the mind. What they meant by that is that once an idea has taken root, much as in the movie Inception, it's incredibly difficult to get rid of it, and it becomes part of the way you operate. And rather than following the pop psychology or self improvement route in which we try to improve our beliefs, the yogis and the perennial traditions try to essentially eliminate the modus operandi of belief as a way to run your mind. This channel is Meditation Amsterdam. My name is Pablo, and today we're going to talk about eroding your beliefs rather than trying to improve them. In order to understand what we mean by this, we need to go back to the way our minds operate in general. You see, the way our minds navigate the world is they have a very economical way of mapping reality and essentially forming a kind of mental map of reality. The mind takes snapshots of elements that we come in contact with, and it links them into a network of beliefs and object relations. And especially those objects that hold an emotional significance for us become very cemented in our mind, and they hold a lot of weight. So as we start to map the world, or as our minds start to make impressions and create links between them, we start to also come in contact with ideas that are prevalent either in our family of origin, our society, the way we're educated. And there comes a point where our map of reality becomes fairly solid. It becomes fairly solidified or calcified. And we can go through life with that kind of solidified map of reality, bumping into things, and certain things work well whilst others create a lot of friction in our lives. Friction in our lives is created by ideas or notions or beliefs that don't map well with reality. And so when our idea of how things should be comes head on into contact with reality, we feel the impact of that as stress in our minds and our bodies. And we often learn through experience and therefore adapt our beliefs to map reality more accurately. Now, for a while, we've gone on this whole notion that we should hold better beliefs, that better beliefs help us operate better in the world. And that is actually true. Better beliefs simply map better to reality, and then you can be more functional. However, holding better beliefs is not the end result, or it's not the highest level of development that your mind can achieve. Because beliefs, as well-formed and functional as they can be, will always meet limitations. And this is necessarily so because a belief is only a representation of reality, it's not the real article. Therefore, there must be circumstances somewhere, sometime, when this belief comes into conflict with what's up. And rather than waiting for that to happen, we can engage in a systematic eroding of our beliefs, or rather eroding our certainty and our identification with our beliefs. The degree to which we are certain or identified with a belief will be in direct relationship with how emotionally relevant that belief is for us. And there's another element to it, which is that when we are in bare contact with the facts, beliefs are redundant. So, for example, I could take this card holder over here, which is made of black leather. Now, both black and leather are concepts, if you will, but there is an actuality to this object, at least for practical purposes. And therefore, I don't need to believe that this is made of black leather. It's a good operative notion, and I simply go by it. And I can confirm it whenever I want to by the actuality of it. When things are not easy to confirm, or when they become fuzzy, such as in the social sciences or economics or politics or religion, or God forbid, spirituality, then belief starts to rear its ugly head. And the more uncertain we are about it, and the more important it is for us, the more emotional valence that belief is going to have in our lives. And that emotional valence, whether it is positive or negative, in other words, whether it is driven by desire and clinging or by fear and aversion, that's going to make it sticky. It's going to make the belief very, very sticky, and it's going to stick to us. And the way it sticks to us is by pretending that it is part of who we are. So we will identify as someone who strongly believes in X, Y, or Z. Once this has taken root, it's incredibly difficult to weed it out. It hides very well, and the best place to hide is, of course, for the belief to pretend that it's you. So if we want to be more fluent and be more constantly in a state of flow, belief is something that is going to constantly get in the way of that. As I said, even if the belief maps to reality correctly, it still casts a veil between you and the actuality of the perceptual now. So what you want to do is tap into your sensory experience as much as possible, to be in bare contact with the sensory here and now. And when you do that, you're going to notice that the mind is at first trying to then cast names, concepts, beliefs, memories about what you are perceiving. But the actuality of what you're perceiving has nothing to do with any of those beliefs, memories, and notions. It is simply what it is. And the more we learn to inhabit that perceptual space of actual perception, the less beliefs are necessary, so they are slowly rendered redundant. This is going to be, as I said, more difficult when emotions are at play. That's where you will see beliefs in their full manifestation. You will see the real face of belief. It'll feel very personal. It'll feel very important. It'll feel very emotional or intense. But if you practice with neutral situations, then the situations that are more difficult are going to be opportunities for you to erode that web of beliefs that holds a veil between you and direct perceptual reality. So in summary, beliefs are better when they are accurate, but they are not the best way or the only way in which you can use your mind. They tend to be stronger the less certainty you have about a topic, and the more emotional valence, whether good or bad, that topic holds for you. And there is a more economical and intelligent way for you to use your mind, which is to erode your identification and your certainty of beliefs, and erode your use of belief as the primary way in which you use your mind. If that content is valuable to you, keep in mind that it might be valuable to other people, which means that sharing, commenting, liking, and subscribing is a great way to make this more available to others. And as usual, I'll be back with more content pretty soon. And until then, thanks for listening. Cheerio and bye-bye.